A Portsmouth mum has started a petition to get the attention of the government to help reunite her with her two children. Lacey Plato had both of her youngsters abducted by their father in 2012 and has had no contact with them since. Her online plea has got some 8,000 signatures, but it needs to get more in order for the government to pay real attention. And she's joining us now along with her father, who's also here for some moral support. Thanks so much for coming in. So some people will have heard of this story, but there'll be lots of people watching who kind of have never heard of it. So if you could just tell us from the beginning what happened.
After living in the Middle East for about 7 years, my ex-partner and I decided that it would be better for our children to come back to the UK and study and go to school here, like we both did. He was raised in Portsmouth, so it's his home. I came back, he had no problem with me coming back. He was in contact with the children regularly. He'd even been to visit the children on a holiday, so there was no problem with visitation.
So you were living separately, you were living here in Portsmouth,
yeah,
and he was living back in Oman. Okay.
Yeah, he decided to stay in Dubai at the time.
Oh, right, okay.
After about 9 months of being back, the children were settled, absolutely loving living in Portsmouth again, and they had constant contact with his family that live in Portsmouth. He came on a holiday. We agreed that the children would stay with him for a couple of days, and then he would drop them back to me on the Sunday, have a couple of days to himself, and then have them for another few days before he went back. But it turns out that he'd actually been here a week prior, arranging emergency travel documents with the Oman embassy in London. And on the Saturday evening, obviously I'm trying to get in contact with them, phoning his house line, with no response at all. And the same happened on the Sunday. I continued phoning. We went to the house where he was staying with his mum, no answer. And in the end, I got a text message on that Sunday evening saying that the children are with me in Oman and we're on vacation. And that's when I knew that he'd taken them out of the country without my knowledge.
And how long ago was that?
It will be 4 years in July.
4 years, and you haven't heard?
I haven't spoken to my children for 16 months since his arrest. So he travelled back to the UK. He's saying that obviously he came back to talk to me about what he wants to do with the children. But obviously, because he had committed abduction, he was arrested upon arrival and he's been in prison since. And he will remain there until the children are returned. And so since his arrest, his family have not allowed me any contact with my children. So it's 16 months now that I haven't spoken to them.
Okay, and you believe that they're still in Oman?
Yeah, I believe they're in Oman with his sister, which is what he said at court the last time we were in court. He said that she's looking after them along with a number of family members. He has family from Portsmouth that also travel back and forth to Oman, so they regularly see my children and have contact with them, but I've got no access to them at all. I don't know what school they go to, I don't know who they're with, just their health and well-being, I have no idea.
How old are they?
My daughter's 11 and my son's 8 next month.
So really quite young as well, and it's been going on for some time now.
Half of my son's life he's been away. So,
how do you deal with that as a mother?
For me, just to keep fighting to get them back. That's all I can do. It's not an option to give up because they're my children. Obviously, the situation isn't ideal. I don't want him to be in prison. I want the children to have their father in their life, but I'm their mother, so I want to be raising my children, and that's what I'm fighting for. I'm not fighting for anything else, I just want my children back.
And have you kind of tried to go to Oman and visit them?
Yeah,
or?
Yeah, we've visited twice, my father and I. We've seen them, I've probably seen them for about an hour and a half in the total of the 4 years, nearly 4 years. And obviously that's monitored and it's with other family members. You can't just go to Oman and take them back. It's impossible. The British Embassy in Oman can't assist because of their Sharia laws, and the legal system there is completely different. I've now got a harassment case that's been filed on me in Oman, which is likely to cause an arrest upon arrival, which is just not something that I can do. I can't put myself in a position where I'm imprisoned to try and visit my children. So at the moment, there's nothing else I can do other than try and get the government support here.
And do they have access to telephones or any kind of internet communication or anything?
I'm hoping they will. They're still quite young, so I'm hoping my daughter being 11 that at some point she may have at school or something. But because I have no contact with them, I don't know what they're being told, and that's the fear. The fear is that they're being told that, you know, I don't want them anymore, or I'm not trying, or that, you know, that I've caused this, and actually it's the complete opposite. So I have to, you know, keep fighting and keep, so that one day they can see that I'm trying to get them home.
And how has this changed kind of Lacey's life and your family?
Well, as a family, it's taken over the last 3 years. Sort of everything we do has virtually been involved with trying to get the children back, or trying to get contact with the children, and, you know, trying to find different ways of doing it, and you know, different ways, and obviously to give support for Laceey as much as anything, because she's the only one here now. So, and she needs the support, and obviously as a father with a daughter, you know, it's the one important thing in your life. I mean, that, you know, that's why we've tried so many different things now to get the children back. You know, but now I think the government and diplomatic pressure is going to be the only way to get the children back, and so hopefully we're trying to get our local MP on side now as well to actually push that for some sort of diplomacy to sort it out, because his family, there's just no give and take at all with his family. You know, to not even let her children speak to her, I think is absolutely disgusting anyway. But as a family, we're just trying to stick together and work out as many ways as we can of getting the children back.
It must have had a huge impact on you as a family kind of group, but how have you seen kind of Laceey being affected?
Well, it's just the whole time you're under stress. You know, you see, like I say, she's my child, and when you see your children worrying and stressing and what have you all the time, you worry for them, and it just escalates more and more, and the longer it goes on, the harder it is, because there are the thoughts of what are the children thinking now, you know, what are they believing, what are they being told. You know, we've heard different things through the grapevine about what has been said to the children and what have you, and that, and so you don't know what to believe, you don't know what's real, you know. I mean, that's what, because last year I went to try and go and see the children for Laceey and take a message, but even that, you know, didn't happen in the end, and so it's just an ongoing saga.
It's just a battle, isn't it?
It is. It's.
Yeah. And obviously the latest kind of the stage now that you're at in the battle is this kind of online petition. Tell us a bit about what that's about and how it works.
So we started a petition 5 months ago for the government to sort of recognise the support that we've got, and obviously the situation that we're in at the moment. And we've only got approximately 1,900 signatures left remaining. So
that you need to get.
That we need to get, yeah. And so that's just to give, you know, our MP some backing as well, to show them that, you know, this is happening. The situation hasn't changed. It hasn't gotten any better. And like my father's saying, we need some kind of diplomatic pressure. You know, we've got a very close relationship with the Oman government. The British government and the Oman government are very well connected, and I just feel like somebody needs to do something, because there are 2 British children living in Oman with no parents, and we've got no idea of their welfare or, you know, anything. Somebody needs to sort of take responsibility, because they were in this country and they were taken out illegally. So that's
and you've got about just under a month left to kind of collect those remaining just under 2,000 signatures.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes, that's correct. 19th of April, then the petition will expire.
Okay.
So.
And just before we go, because we're running out of time,
yep.
In the kind of really unlikely event that your children kind of manage to see this, you know, on the internet or something, what would you say to them?
Just that I'm trying.
Well, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll stop now, but thank you.